No, I love how he's legitimately talking about being king, but he took it as like a CEO. Yeah, it is true, I guess. Money usually does change people. Like, if you think of how the Konosuba characters interact when they get money, it's a very different experience to how this group is handling it. So, oh my god, yo, that's a Hestia level boob pull right there, bruh. One of the biggest praises I can give this show is it does the thing that Konosuba would never. Now, Konosuba is an interesting beast. You know I love me some Konosuba. But that cast of characters was nothing but douchebags to each other. But boy golly, if you would have given them the amount of money that the cast in this show just got, we've already seen what they do with a large amount of money. They go broke before the end of a season. What does this crew do? I really mean it. It's been some time since we've had a legitimately good cast of characters in an isekai that are essentially made multi-millionaires. And the immediate response is, let's share it among everyone equally. And let's start a company so we can make sure it grows rather than we go back. The fact that if you would have just threw Kazuma alone into that scene, there's a character in this show, Ugly Mug Epic Fighter, that if he touches money, it becomes like 1/10 of its value. He is cursed. And unironically, he would do less damage to the money than Konosuba's cast would. And that is fantastic. Make sure you drop a like, show your support on this video. Subscribe if you happen to be new around here. Patreon is where you'll catch my full live reactions and other exclusives if you want to help fund the channel. So, we had an insane bombshell last week. We essentially introduced gods outside of our own guy. It's wild because you didn't really think he would struggle at all. So now he has a psycho ex-girlfriend, which he doesn't even realize how. Because he's like, I never even dated this woman in my life, but somehow she thinks we're married. He'll learn a very valuable lesson from that one. But the whole episode, it's so simple at surface level, and these are the kinds of isekai episodes that get shit on. A lot of people who discuss it will be like, it's so boring. Where my action at? Monkey brain hungry. That's basically what they sound like. But these are the types of episodes that make you actually care about the characters. And to come off of the casino arc, which was like 3 or 4 episodes, I forget exactly how long, it was a decent length episode arc anyway. And the idea that we come out of that so rich, not only from our gambling, but also, lawfully, required reward money. Seiji, being who he is, wanted to give the money back, and thank God there's at least one character with a brain cell. Granted, there's 2 characters with brain cells, but he pulled him aside and said, don't you dare. We need that money. And I love the idea of what they did with the company. So that's like the big thing about the episode, is they want to start a company. And I think it was last episode or the previous one, our MC basically talks about making their leader king. Like, he thinks it would be a good idea to have him as king. And he doubles down on that in this episode. Misunderstanding, as it usually happens. He basically looks at him saying, oh, I should become king of a company. Because the menu stats in the system are what makes the show so interesting. Is that basically depressed people are who got isekai'd in this world. So most of their menu stats are pretty shitty. Not all of them, but most of them, like the idea that our MC can't touch a woman. If he touches money, it becomes 1/10, blah, blah, blah. For him, it's essentially he can't say no to friends. Like, so if he valued anyone as a friend, no matter how evil they are, he would always have to be by their side. So the idea of him having a company doesn't make sense, but him being king and basically ruling over with a bird's eye view, leaving it to advisors and the like to be able to do a lot of the diplomacy firsthand. It makes a lot of sense. And while I still think that could be an end goal for the show, at the end of the day, he took it as, oh, I should be like a king of a company. So like I have workers who do all this stuff for me so I can't get misled, but I still kind of oversee. And, as much of a misunderstanding as it was, you can't deny the fact it's a good starting point. Do you really want to put someone like him who has maybe a gopher, a couple marbles, and a tumbleweed in his head as king right now? No, we wanna build him up. So maybe a company works, especially given where he comes from in his own world, right? But of course they have a lot of fun with that. And the fact that they're continuing long-term jokes, like the fact that all of them but our MC have a secret identity, and 2 out of the 3 basically think everyone's fooled that they don't know who they are. So when a detective comes in, he's like, I swear I'm not that hero. He looks real hot though, I'm sure, but that ain't me. Everyone and their mother knows it's him, but he truly thinks he's fooled them. What makes him such a great leader for this party is usually with isekais, it's your MC who's like the leader of a party, or the person who is leader you never like. You're like, why can't it be the MC? Like, there's no reason for this guy. But here's the thing with Seiji, right? He's legitimately a good leader. He's the type of person who is charismatic, he inspires people, he's strong, he's just a dumbass. But he's kind of a harmless dumbass, you know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, yes, he could maybe get them into extra situations, or maybe he tries to get rid of the money, but you can teach someone like that not to be quite that dumb. So he's kind of harmless, and in a way he's endearing, so you kind of root for him, and you don't really get the impression our MC should be like the guy leading the party always. If anything, he's kind of like the advisor, kind of pulling the puppet strings to help them go down the straight and narrow. I don't know, they do a good job with the cast, and at surface level, this show just seems like, oh, here's this ugly bastard isekai where MC's gonna be edgy because he hates women, he was screwed around, blah blah blah. But no, like, they actually write him to be a very endearing character. And hey, if anything, this episode proves he's not even close to being the ugliest character in the world. There's still hope for him. I know there will be people who disagree with me, but that rich bastard who we were interacting with seems like a nice guy, don't get it twisted, but I truly think his face was uglier than our MC. Like, you can't convince me otherwise. The thing, too, is that I assume the end goal of this show will be, because they make a company that's all about compensating and dealing with people's disabilities, because that's what these menu systems are, right? So someone saying, like, I can't even be paid, it's like, well, we'll pay your family so then they can do stuff for you. The idea of making a company and hiring workers that are going to be screwed naturally by this world because of what they put into a system when they were depressed, like, I don't want money because we're all fighting over family inheritance. They're not thinking, oh, I'm going to go summon into a new world and I'm going to screw myself over. It's more about dealing with the pain in their current life. So the idea of a company matching that and making sure that you will be okay working for them is a really good idea. And I assume at some point we will meet a character whose ability is to change menus. I really feel like that's going to be a thing, and if that does happen, I assume the show ends with our boy not having to be the blubber whale that he is currently. I mean, every time I talk about this show, I get people telling me, oh, it's not that good, it's mid, blah, blah, blah. And they always have, like, the worst profile pictures, too, and I'm like, of course, the Natsu profile picture is trying to tell me that. Brilliant. At the end of the day, I think this show is pretty competent. It takes what you think you know about Isekai and twists them, and hey, you know what, as much as I love my asshole MCs like in KonoSuba, it's really refreshing when someone gets an abundance of money and just legitimately wants to help the crew out. Beautiful. Let me know what you've been thinking of Ugly Mug, though, down below. Drop a like, show your support, subscribe if you're new around. Your Patreon is, of course, where catch my full live reactions and other exclusives, like I give video shoutouts to all my patrons. Alright, so today I've got peeps. Jonathan Wang, Vibel, Jessica, Crony Fam, Nyan Korn, and we also have Patrick Leon. So I appreciate the support, everyone. Please take care, and you'll have a good one.